Right now this morning, half of all people killed in car accidents in 2022 were not wearing a seatbelt. We'll have more on seatbelt safety. And find out how Pizza Ranch is serving up more than just great food. We'll explore their Fun Zone arcade where family memories are made one game at a time.
Plus, we're above seasonal average temperatures today, and then we flip the script and cool you on down with some rainfall potential for your weekend. More about that coming up in your QuickCast.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Mark Jarrett.
It is Friday, October 11th. You know another way to tell that we are above seasonal temperatures?
How?
They turn the air on in the studio. We're back to freezing in here, aren't we?
I am so cold. I can barely move
Chilly.
right now. I'm freezing right now. Hey, let's get into your local weather here, and I'll get you started. I'll let her get back to her blanket. As you go right into it here, you have average temperatures here where we'll see widespread 70s today with the possibility of getting into, well, some 80-degree heat there, some low 80s. In fact, we're going to see some patchy fog to start your early morning off here, where you'll see this continue up northward going into Viroqua and possibly into our river valleys. But right now we're picking up some winds coming out of the south, and that means we're going to see some humidity kind of sneaking into the picture, and that'll help you out a little bit as well. In fact, as we go into your current temperatures here, we're looking at some 40s, some 50s. As you go more across the Mississippi to the west there, you're looking at more of those 50s and 60s into the forecast. And as you go into the possibility of rainfall, not out of the question, we have some light rainfall getting closer to the airport by Minneapolis. We'll scoot on over a little bit, and we'll see that the ridge of high pressure will slowly begin to break down, even though it's pretty nice right now all the way up into Canada. It'll break down though, and we'll get into some cooler conditions. Some clouds coming out of it right now. We're looking at those clouds continue to work through the area currently. Eau Claire, you see the clouds coming in for the morning hours and into the afternoon as the kids are coming and going for school today. We'll also see La Crosse doing the same thing. 8 o'clock as they're in school, you're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, getting into some clearing skies for the afternoon. And there's a look at Eau Claire if you're heading on out for today, 57 to 75 degrees. All right, I'll have more about this coming up for you in just a moment.
25 days now till Election Day. The candidates are looking west. Former President Trump kicking off a Western campaign swing starting in Aurora, Colorado, a town he's linked without evidence to migrant crime. Vice President Harris in battleground Arizona. Meanwhile, the White House continues to push back against Trump's criticism of recent hurricane recovery efforts. CBS's Jared Hill has it all covered for us.
With the countdown to Election Day in full swing, former President Barack Obama urged folks to get out to vote in Pittsburgh.
What I cannot understand is why anybody would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you, Pennsylvania.
The Harris campaign bringing out a Democratic heavyweight as she courted Latino votes in the Southwest with a rally in Phoenix, Arizona, and a Univision town hall in Las Vegas.
My mom passed away just 6 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Do you have plans to support that subgroup of immigrants who have been here their whole lives, or most of them, and have to live and die in the shadows?
Had your mother been able to gain citizenship, she would have been entitled to health care that may have alleviated her suffering.
In Detroit, former President Trump promised another tax cut.
We will make interest on car loans fully deductible.
As he continued to criticize the Biden administration for hurricane recovery.
They've let those people suffer unjustly.
Former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
FEMA officials say they've already distributed $344 million worth of assistance to victims of Hurricane Helene, though the intense recovery is straining some programs.
The Small Business Administration could run out of money for low-interest home rebuilding loans by the end of this month. President Biden is calling on lawmakers to come back to Washington. They're on recess right now so that they can pass emergency funding. VP nominee and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is scheduled to return to our region on Monday. The upcoming visit will be his 5th to the state since becoming Vice President Harris's running mate. Walz will be making 2 stops, one in Eau Claire, the other in Green Bay. He's expected to arrive at Chippewa Valley Regional Airport in Eau Claire at 5 p.m. The Republican candidate for Wisconsin's 94th Assembly District says he wants to put western Wisconsin back on the map. Ryan Hipsch is running against Democrat Steve Doyle for the district, which now covers northern La Crosse County and parts of Trempealeau. Republican Congressman Brian Steele joined Hipsch in front of Onalaska's Sonny the Sunfish. Steele says Wisconsin needs Hipsch in Madison to lower costs and bring common sense to state government. Hipsch says voters tell him they don't want to be an afterthought in Madison and they want to feel safe.
We are right in between Minneapolis and Chicago. We see this drug, the stream right through in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and it's just, we're not safe anymore.
The 94th district ranks second in Wisconsin in financial campaign contributions. Doyle and Hipsch squared off in 2022, with Doyle winning by about 800 votes. If you have any leaves on the ground, you might want to pick them up this weekend because La Crosse's leaf drop-off sites are set to open on Monday. All locations except for the site on Isle La Plume will be open. The city asked residents to take their bags and containers home after you dump your leaves. Look for orange snow fencing to identify the drop-off locations, and you can find a full list of the locations on our website. The city administrator position was back on the agenda for La Crosse's Common Council last night. The council met to discuss creating this nonpartisan role, which would handle more day-to-day city operations. Mayor Mitch Reynolds first pitched the idea, believing it could help run the city more efficiently, but the council ultimately deferred the decision till June, with some members citing a lack of public input. Despite the delay, Mayor Reynolds says it's still a step in the right direction.
I'm trying to set a course so that at some point this can be approved in the future. And I don't think we can't get there unless it's introduced and we talk about it and it becomes part of our public conversation.
The council also approved a resolution to transition an airport fire truck to a new environmentally friendly firefighting foam. The old Lincoln Middle School building in La Crosse could soon have a new purpose. The school district plans to sell it to a housing developer. News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains the potential future for the community landmark.
We're really looking forward to this site being redeveloped.
Lincoln Middle School served La Crosse families for 100 years before closing. Now, the same building will continue to serve the area, but in a different way.
We'll be turning into housing units as well as some offices and community space.
Keys says in the last decade, rent in La Crosse has increased 42%, but the development is hoping to provide relief, with the project including around 50 units of affordable housing.
Housing is really the cornerstone of basic need. We're hopeful that the addition of affordable housing will allow more families to not just be okay, but to thrive.
The developers are also partnering with La Crosse County to support residents. The project will house neighborhood offices for the La Crosse Area Family Collaborative and Youth System of Care. Hoffman says the building's central location makes their services more accessible.
Setting up shop where families are residing and having spaces that are welcoming and comfortable is really kind of what we strive to do, and so this project would allow us to continue to do that.
There's still a long way to go for the development.
Especially with affordable housing projects or projects that have rent controls incorporated within them, having tax credits that are offered at the state and federal level is really a necessity. So they need to go through the process of applying for those tax credits, which is a very competitive process.
Once financing is sorted out, the City Council will have to approve the proposal. While it's still some years away from completion, the city says it's worth the wait.
We want to see this property reused in a great way. So yeah, it's exciting to see this come forward.
Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Fergut, News 8 Now, This Morning.
Because of the financing piece, the city believes the earliest the development would be finished is 2027. A new indoor playground is opening tomorrow, just in time for the cooler weather. Wild Child's indoor playground will welcome children ages 10 and under, starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow. The owner says it is a safe, clean space for kids to play, while parents can relax and connect. To make sure you can get in on the grand opening fun tomorrow, you can reserve your playtime online, bring socks, and sign the waiver ahead of time. You can visit wildchildlax.com for all of that. And get ready for an exciting weekend of events, starting with Soups On at the Mirage tomorrow. tomorrow from noon to 2 for the second annual Soup Cookout. It's free to enter and free to try some of the tasty broths. Celebrate the autumn season at the Lafayette Fall Festival Sunday. There'll be raffles, a craft fair, a firefighter softball tournament, and a beer garden. And immerse yourself in a world of imagination at the Sandbar Storytelling Festival. Buckle down for workshops, competitions, and listen to the storytellers. Tonight, there will also be some terrifying ghost stories. Time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news. Inflation continued to slow in September. The IRS is making progress on backlogged pandemic-era tax credit claims, and Delta reports a profitable third quarter despite a lot of cancellations.
A new report says automakers are doing a better job of getting people to buckle up. I'm Chris Van Cleve with a look at changes that could save lives.
And for now, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. A rare Monet pastel, Bord de Mer, has resurfaced after 80 years. Bought in 1936 by an Austrian couple, it was seized by the Nazis when the family fled. The painting vanished until it appeared at a French art exhibit, then bought by a Washington state couple. The FBI identified it as stolen when the couple tried to sell it. This week, the $500,000 artwork was returned to the original owner's granddaughters in New Orleans. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city that hosts the world's largest chess piece. That is St. Louis, Missouri. You can tell, of course, from the iconic arch there. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
When I walked into these old buildings 35 years ago, I never imagined it would look like this. I never imagined we'd serve 12,000 homeowners. I never imagined I'd celebrate my 80th birthday here, and I never imagined that my then 10-year-old daughter would become the new general manager. But here we are, solid as a rock, carrying on a tradition of exceptional quality and service.
Celebrate our 35 years with your savings on new windows and doors, bathroom or kitchen, siding, sunroom or deck.
Billionaire banker Eric Hovde has a plan for Social Security.
Do you favor either raising the retirement age or cutting benefits?
I favor both.
Raising the retirement age?
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Hovde wants to raise the retirement age as high as 72. And Hovde just proposed cutting Social Security by 28%, costing the average beneficiary more than $6,000 a year. Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Liberal Rebecca Cook. She's cooked up quite a story about herself. The truth, Cook is a slick political operative who pocketed almost $200,000 electing Democrat extremists. Cook supported radicals pushing open borders, defunding police, and ending cash bail. No wonder New York radical AOC is spending big money to elect phonies like Cook. Rebecca Cook, a liberal recipe for disaster. Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
Who's that Derek Van Orden think he is? He thinks he's better than us. Like that time he screamed at somebody, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Language! Who does Derek Van Orden think he is, supporting an abortion ban?
I'm Rebecca Cook. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up on a dairy farm, run a small business, and I wait tables. Around here, we work hard, respect our neighbors' freedoms, and aren't looking for special treatment. We need one of us to represent us. That's why I approve this message.
This is a cup of coffee. It's to go. Because here, you're on the move. Our team coordinates all your appointments, so you see all the experts you need quicker. Because when you're facing a complex condition, it feels like time is being taken from you. So, we found a way to give it back. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health. Remarkable.
All right, taking a look at your local weather here. We have, again, I want to take you right back to the kids going to school. 57 degrees. I added the cloud cover in there because we're going to go to at least partly to mostly cloudy skies for for Eau Claire, and then getting into at least heading home, you're going to keep more clouds here coming and going. We're going to see these winds changing on us from different directions. That's what's going to bring clouds in and bring clouds out for the next few days. Hey, La Crosse, they're going to start off again, holding on to partly cloudy skies, finish out that way as well, starting out at 54 degrees, getting into at least 80 degrees for you. Then we see a warm conditions will ensue for today with cooler air coming out of Canada again, dropping down on us with some cooler air, and then eventually knocking our temperatures down into the cool, pushing everything down to the south again, hot to warm as you go down to the Great Basin, and then you're going to be seeing warmer or mild conditions down by Atlanta, getting into Tennessee and areas by Kentucky as well. So this cooler air will get out of the way eventually as we go into, say, Wednesday and Thursday of next week, and we warm up slowly but surely back to the mild and possibly getting into the warm by Friday. Hey, current visibility here, you're looking at all the way down to the south again, patchy to dense fog there possible, and then we're looking at patchy fog for everywhere else if there is any at all. But we are increasing the cloud cover slowly but surely as we go through this hour, and then finishing out, clearing out as we get into the 11 o'clock hour nicely. You're getting the winds coming out of the north, so that's where the cooler air is, knocking out those clouds. We'll eventually see some southerly winds continue to push into the forecast, bringing in some rainfall as you get that little clash between north and south as far as the winds are concerned, and the possibility of that rainfall coming in as we go right into the 12 o'clock hour and midnight, with rainfall coming back in for Saturday. You can see that coming in out of the northeast now, with rainfall possibly passing through the area. You'll go right into Saturday with more rainfall going into the morning hours, and of course I'll show you more about this as we finish out going to the 1 o'clock hour. All right, I'll have more about this coming up for you in a bit, so please stick around.
In your morning consumer news, inflation continued to slow in September, reaching a 3.5-year low. New data says it is similar to what was seen in 2017 and 2018. The Consumer Price Index, which measures price changes across commonly purchased goods and services, was 2.4% for the 12 months ending in September. That is less of a cool down than economists were expecting, though, but they say it is still headed in the right direction. And the IRS, meanwhile, making headway on backlogged pandemic-era business tax credits. About 400,000 employee retention credit claims worth $10 billion are now being processed. The program aimed to help small businesses pay employees during pandemic shutdowns. The IRS paused reviews last September due to ineligible and potentially fraudulent claims. Eligible businesses should start receiving aid soon, they say. And Delta Airlines reporting a profitable third quarter, even as the airline weathered a $500 million hit from that July service meltdown related to the CrowdStrike computer outage. This is also despite the impact of Hurricane Helene at the end of the quarter. Delta says it earned adjusted income of $971 million in the quarter, down about 25% from a year earlier. The National Traffic Highway Safety Administration says half of all people killed in car accidents in 2022 were not wearing a seatbelt. That is why safety advocates are pushing for more effective seatbelt reminders, and a new report says automakers are stepping up. Chris Van Cleve reports.
This test highlights the importance of seatbelts. The driver is wearing one, but the backseat passenger is not, and slams into the front seat.
Seatbelts are the #1 safety feature in your vehicle. They dramatically reduce your risk of dying in a crash.
David Kidd is a senior research scientist at the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, which has pushed for seatbelt reminders that go beyond federal standards.
We want seatbelt reminders to be loud enough that you can't ignore them. For the front row, an auditory beep lasting at least 90 seconds.
When IIHS tested new car models in 2022, only 17% met their higher standard and earned a good rating. But that has changed dramatically. This year, 62% of new models received a good grade. The Ford Maverick is one of those improved vehicles. It used to have a short chime when the driver failed to buckle up and just a small warning symbol on the dash. Now there's a loud chime and a flashing visual warning.
The manufacturers are not only improving those reminders for unbuckled front row occupants, but they're adding them for the rear rows as well.
That includes the Volvo X40. If a passenger unbuckles in the back seat, the chime is now louder and longer. IIHS says good warnings increase seatbelt use, and if every vehicle had them, it could save nearly 1,600 lives a year.
You got to wear it. The IIHS says some automakers are also adding seatbelt alerts for the third row even. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now 6:19. Let's check in with Art for a look at our forecast.
All right, my friend, I just want to get you that look again. As I mentioned before, I'm going to take you right back into this morning as far as our cloud cover is concerned. As we start off this morning, we're looking at least mostly cloudy skies up north and then partly cloudy skies to the south, but it's going to flip as we go right into the late morning hours. We'll see clearer skies up to the north, and then we'll get into partly to mostly cloudy skies down to the south, and that's just at the 11 o'clock hour over the next few hours. You're seeing these winds. You're seeing winds coming out of the north, and you're seeing them drop down. You're seeing some southerly winds sneak into the picture as well. You're also seeing some winds scattered out across the area going from southwest all the way to the northeast, and so that's going to keep a lot of just a little bit of a cloud cover coming and going, as I mentioned before. So variable cloudiness and variable cloudiness as well. Variable cloudiness and variable winds is what I want to tell you about. All right, so we go right into the 8 o'clock hour for tonight. You're looking at least getting into partly to mostly cloudy skies up to the north of I-94. Then you're going to see some clearing skies down to the south. Picking up a little bit of moisture coming around the midnight hour, though, from Preston all the way to Decorah, and then trying to get to Winona with a little bit of cloud cover sneaking in all the way to 4 o'clock in the morning. So from Ladysmith all the way down to Eau Claire, picking up possibly in La Crosse as well as we go right through the next few hours from there. Then we get to the late morning hours. The real rainfall starts to sneak in up by Ladysmith, stays up there above I-94, then tries to sneak down into Eau Claire, and then comes down right as we go into the 1 o'clock hour in the afternoon on Saturday. This will continue on. This is about a 40% chance of rainfall for us here as well. So I bumped up that as well. So you're looking at temperatures in the 50s and the 60s mostly. By the time we get in the 3 o'clock hour, maybe a little bit of moderate to so heavy rainfall, maybe even a storm associated with that as well, sneaking in the picture. By 3 o'clock, you're looking at temperatures in the 50s and the 60s. We'll finish out by 6 o'clock, and temperatures are widespread in the 50s, some 60s down to the south, with that moisture still coming in the form of showers to rainfall and storm activity. It gets out of the way. We go into Sunday, start in the early morning with rainfall again, popping in with a light shower to a moderate shower, then kind of driving down to Eau Claire with that, with the lighter stuff, trying to get down to La Crosse with a sprinkler too. But then as we go into the 10 o'clock hour, there's where we get the rainfall moving in the picture. That kind of moves around Ladysmith as well, and kind of limited by Eau Claire as everything begins to wrap around coming from the north out of Canada. Much cooler air in the picture for us, and this is what we're going to get out of that. We're going to get these breezy and gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour, up to 40 miles per hour, and then kind of moving stronger as we go right all the way into the noon hour and continuing on right through 3 o'clock. You can see La Crosse at 39 mile per hour winds, and then slowly but surely it begins to break down as we go in the 10 o'clock hour. I want to show you more of that rainfall possibilities as we finish out for Sunday. Again, a better view as you can go all the way into the evening and overnight. You can see it continues on. High temperatures for us mostly today, 70s and the 80s. We continue to drop the temperatures right through the weekend and into Monday of next week, where frosty conditions will ensue. You'll see these conditions to be breezy across the weekend, cooler conditions on Monday going into Tuesday, with the miles starting to work into the picture, and then continuing on with warmer air coming back into our forecast by Friday with a little extra rainfall possibilities.
All right, Art, thank you. The time now is 5:22, 6:22. Those numbers are getting smaller. Still ahead on your morning news. Although we all have a very busy schedule, taking time for our mental health can help get us through the day. Coming up, why it's important to not only give ourselves 5 minutes every day to unwind, but for our kids too.
Coming up in the Blitz, it was an action-packed night of volleyball. Stick around to see which teams walked out victorious.
For over 6 decades, Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true. The magic begins again this Saturday at 7 a.m. with incredible doorbuster deals and more. Like Hot Wheels die-cast vehicles, buy 3, get 2 free. Barbie Panda Rescue sets, only $19.99. $10 off these John Deere play sets. Plus, Saturday only, be one of the first 100 people in store to get a free Blaine's toy pickup truck. Don't miss Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland opening weekend. The magic begins this Saturday at 7 a.m.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
You heard him.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
What would Eric Hovde do in the Senate? Mitch McConnell and extremists would gain a majority. The power to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape or incest. Criminal penalties for doctors. More extreme anti-abortion judges on the courts.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks, but now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
If you want selection, then that's what we've got at King Furniture. More mattresses. Did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping? So you better have the best mattress you possibly can. And we have those here at King Furniture with a huge selection to choose from in every price range. Lay down and relax. Take the time to find the exact mattress you want because you're going to be sleeping on this for a while. King Furniture. Nice people, nice furniture.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, we've got less than 2 weeks before regionals get underway here in Wisconsin for girls volleyball. Teams trying to play their best before the postseason begins, and it's one and done. We'll get started in Holmen, where the Riverhawks were in town. Here early on in this one, Central trying to set the tone. It's a nice dig in the back. The ball caroms near Aaliyah Shields, and she stuffs it down. From there, the home side got their footing as Moira Linz is going to power one down to the Central side. Then off a high bump set, it's Hadley Teff rising and firing and sending it over for the point. That made it a 4-point Viking lead. Then some history for junior Charlie Casey. That right there, the 500th kill in her career, as she cracks a smile for the moment. And Holmen had a lot to smile about as they get the sweep. Not too far away, Onalaska hosting Sparta. Hilltoppers already up 1-0 when Isabella Malachek pops one up and over to make it 7-3 home side. Sparta trying to show some fight as Ellie Faulkner lifts one up and over the net to bring her side a little bit closer. And a fun play right here. Ball's just kind of bouncing around person to person. Where will it land? Well, on the Spartan side as Jenna Ganson escorts it to the ground. Things were clicking in last night for Onalaska. Maddie Wilson gets the good setup, and that spike was as good as yesterday's date, which was a 10 out of 10. Hilltoppers get it done in 3 games over Sparta. Let's head to Tomah, where it was senior night. And starting things off, the Timberwolves, it's a big block by Cora Vitsenda, shutting it down and sending it back to the Rangers side. A couple plays later, Tomah gets out of system, but that does not bother Libby Matheson. She adjusts and sends it across court for the point. Then it's Lily Noth putting it on a platter for Vitsenda. She has a good swing and it falls on Logan's side. Rangers looking to add to the scoreboard as Lily Detweiler is going to give it a go, and that one tipped out of bounds, but Tomah goes on to win this one in a sweep against their conference foe. Scenic Bluffs action, Hillsboro facing Bangor at a conference quad. Early set 1, they're on the prowl. Lauren Woyrol pops one to the back left corner for the point for Hillsboro, and more good offense at the net for the ladies in black and orange. Michelin Hansen with a big swing for another point. Cardinals trying to stay as tight as they could to one of the best teams in the conference. Abby Langer stuffs it up front, but how about this? Not only does Hillsboro get the sweep, but Michelin Hansen picks up the 1,000th dig of her career to go with 1,000 kills and 1,000 assists. A triple crown for the Tiger Senior. So quite the night of history making on the volleyball court. Love to see it. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
I have had the privilege of working with an exceptional team to install over 12,000 home improvements for local homeowners in the last 35 years. Now it's time for me to spend a little more time with my bride of over 50 years. Fortunately, I found an experienced remodeling contractor and corporate project manager to lead the board store into the future.
And with an outstanding team by my side, I am proud to lead this amazing company my dad has built. And we look forward to continuing to serve you with the great value that is the board store trademark.
We need real working people in Washington.
What a phony. Cook spent the last decade working as a political operative, earned her money helping defund the police radicals like Mandela Barnes, the most anti-police candidate in Wisconsin history. Now, Cook won't let you protect your family. She wants to ban the most popular rifle in the country, earning an F from the NRA. Rebecca Cook, phony insider, dangerously liberal.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
I'm sick and tired of getting ripped off by career politicians. And Tammy Baldwin, she's one of the worst. Baldwin's in bed with Wall Street. While she sleeps in her girlfriend's $1 million condo in New York City, Wisconsin families are getting hammered by high inflation and handouts for illegal immigrants. Tammy and her girlfriend are living large while Wisconsin families foot the bill. Frankly, it's time for Tammy Baldwin to go.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
With Tammy Baldwin, we've gotten extreme policies that are hurting our families. Baldwin voted to let boys compete in girls' sports, and she co-sponsored a bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men. Worse, Baldwin's bill would force domestic violence shelters to admit biological men, even though survivors say it would cause significant trauma for women in those shelters. Tammy Baldwin has endangered Wisconsin families. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for everybody, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Join us October 12th and 13th at the Onalaska Omni Center.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, the DEA warning about fake online pharmacies selling counterfeit medications. These foreign companies often use generic names like pharmacystoresonline.com. Drug traffickers, not legitimate pharmaceutical companies, supply these products, and the CDC cautions if prices seem too good to be true, they probably are. Taking these drugs could lead to serious harm or even death. Amazon is expanding its same-day prescription delivery. By the end of next year, its pharmacy network will reach 45% of Amazon customers across the country. The company says it's adding 20 new, smaller pharmacies that will be embedded in Amazon's same-day delivery sites. These are not physical locations where customers can walk in. Instead, they're highly automated pharmacy fulfillment sites overseen by a team of licensed pharmacists and pharmacy technicians. The CDC says mental health can affect how kids and teens think, feel, and act. It can also have a hand in how they handle stress related to others and make decisions. Mandy Gaither explains how one expert says 5 minutes a day can help a child be more mentally healthy.
We're all busy, so it can be easy to put off prioritizing family time.
but parents play a significant role in their child's mental health.
Even when we are hoping to spend time as a family, we have our phones out or we have to think about all the things we have to do that day. And so it's really hard to just be fully in and present with our kids, unfortunately.
In recent years, health officials say there have been significant increases in certain mental health disorders in U.S. youth, including depression, anxiety, and thoughts of suicide. And many may not get the help they need, says psychologist Whitney Ragland Bignall.
So I think it's really important for us to think about, one, how we can help our youth who are unfortunately feeling sadder than ever before and lonely. We know that we are in a loneliness epidemic.
That's why the Kids Mental Health Foundation is encouraging parents to do the Take 5 Challenge. Each day, spend at least 5 minutes of intentional time with no distractions. Bignall says to allow the child to choose what's done in that time, be positive, fully present, and engaged in whatever they've asked you to do with them.
Think about the fact that most kids, they don't get much autonomy throughout their day. They are told what the routine and the schedule is and what they have to do. So having 5 minutes where they get to choose something and you as a parent are praising them and giving them attention means a lot.
Bignall says start with 5 minutes, try to work up to 15 or more of intentional child-led time. She says even that short of a time can make a difference in your child's life. And new this morning, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded this morning in Oslo. The 2024 recipient is Nihon Hidankyo, a Japanese organization of atomic bomb survivors. The group won for its efforts to rid the world of nuclear weapons. Formed by survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Nihon Hidankyo has worked to ensure nuclear weapons are never used again. The Norwegian Nobel Committee praised the group's use of witness testimony to reinforce the nuclear taboo. This award comes at a time when the committee says this taboo is under pressure. Local high school students getting hands-on with some heavy machinery. J.F. Brennan, a marine construction firm, and local operating engineer unions hosted the event. Part of the Operating Engineers Pathways program, giving students a chance to try out heavy equipment before graduation. Organizers say the experience helps them prepare for the workforce.
You see the production of kids actually entering the workforce into something that they love, and we gave them that step in the right direction to either A, get them interested, or B, give them the training that they needed to continue on.
Students participated in various challenges, including picking up a basketball with an excavator and driving forklifts through cones. As Greg and Art were forecasting, last night was a great night to catch a glimpse of the northern lights, if you stay up past sunset, that is. We got a bunch of viewer submissions overnight, a few from the town of Onalaska, courtesy of Ryan. Then over in Hillsborough, we see some dogs taking the lights in. And in Sparta, we've got some rich colors from Jay Lynn. And we even have a shot to close you out from Ken Kozorowski's wife, Leah. There it is. And the time now is 6:37. Let's check back in with Art for a look at our morning commute.
All right, Alexandra, as we go right into it, we are looking at the patchy fog and low cloud activity that's slowly starting to work into the area here. We've got the fog down by Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. We have a few high clouds that are drifting in from the north. We'll also be seeing here as we go right into the current temperature, still holding on to the 40s and the 50s right now. 40 for Black River Falls, 41 in Sparta, and then 56 in in La Crosse, holding on to warmer conditions as you go across into the Mississippi River over into Wisconsin, getting over to Minneapolis, and you're going to be seeing again holding on to at least cooler conditions down to the south. Hey, for now we have the rainfall now has turned into showers and storms by Mason City, Austin, Preston, and Decorah. We'll keep an eye on that by I-35 there. We're also seeing some lighter rainfall up by the radar going into Minneapolis at the airport. That being said, the ridge of high pressure still continue to build for us. All that heat is going to come in with this dome still holding on to some warmer conditions for us here today. Then it all begins to break down, dives down on top of us. Clouds right now, though, we're looking at least partly to mostly cloudy skies. You can see the clouds holding on to mostly cloudy for Eau Claire for the early morning hours for kids going to school and into the lunch hour. You'll see the same for La Crosse doing the same with temperatures in the 80s, in the 50s and the 60s with 70s with 80s on the way. All right, that's a look at your forecast.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Hey, Adeline is turning 8. She loves being in 2nd grade, playing with her friends and spending time at her grandma's house with all of the animals.
Happy birthday to her, and happy birthday to Allison, I believe. She's turning 8. She loves her dog, Gracie, bike riding, and spending time with her friends and family. Happy birthday.
Hey, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com. Look for the Submit Pictures button right there on the Home tab. Coming up from buffet to arcade, delivery to dine-in Pizza Ranch, La Crosse has it all. Join us next for Foodie Friday as we slice into all the delicious details.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
For over 6 decades, Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true. The magic begins again this Saturday at 7 a.m. with incredible doorbuster deals and more, like half off select Lego play sets, just $4.99. Melissa and Doug boxed puzzles or rainbow cake sets, also half price. Plus, Saturday only, be one of the first 100 people in store to get a free scratch off for $10 to $100 off your entire purchase. Don't miss Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland opening weekend. The magic begins this Saturday at 7 a.m.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
A lot has changed since the Overhead Door Company installed its first door in 1921. One thing that hasn't, our commitment to quality. We set the standard a century ago with the first motorized garage door, and we have not stopped innovating since. Today, you can build your dream door with the DoorView app, and with the OHD Anywhere app, you can control your new door from anywhere. So next time you need a repair or replacement for your garage door, look for the red ribbon and trust 100 years of experience Overhead Door Company.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks. But now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
All right, and away we go. Looking at conditions as we go into Saturday, that warmer air is going to get out of the way. Eventually, we're going to see cooler air pop into the picture here as we go right into cooler air. That's going to last all the way into Tuesday, and then we'll climb out of it for Wednesday going into Thursday with warmer conditions. Patchy fog out there right now to dense fog around Viroqua, getting into areas by Boscobel. So areas near here into Prairie du Chien, there's a little fog for you this morning. Everybody else is picking up some cloud cover sneaking in from the north to south. So we're looking at mostly cloudy skies for Ladysmith all the way down to Eau Claire as we finish out. But then we're going to see those clouds kind of flip the script and bring the clouds down to the south as the winds change on us. Winds are coming out of the north, sliding down. We're also seeing some southerly winds coming in from the south-southwest. We're also picking up all this wind coming out of it, going across La Crosse. As you can see, temperatures in the 60s widespread. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we're holding on to at least partly cloudy skies. You're going to see some temperatures mostly around the widespread 70s and 80s. We're also picking up 69 in and Ladysmith, a little bit cooler. Then we increase the clouds going into the evening hours. You get up to at least partly to mostly cloudy skies by Eau Claire. We'll see that go away, but once we get in the midnight hour, more clouds are on the way. You see it up to Ladysmith with rainfall potential. You're going to see some spottier showers down by Viroqua and Winona, all the way down into areas getting into Decorah, getting into also into Prairie du Chien. Then the second bout of this comes in for the mid to late morning hours as we go into Saturday morning. That's up by Ladysmith, mostly up north of I-94, and then it begins to drop down on us once we get in the 1 o'clock hour. See, the heavier stuff is right by Eau Claire in the form of light to moderate rainfall. Then it begins to sag down a little bit more so with storm activity potential getting into Boscobel as well as down to Madison, excuse me. We'll also see as we go right through areas right by Black River Falls and La Crosse and Winona, you're also seeing some light to moderate rainfall moving in the picture there. Then it begins to clear out. You see Ladysmith is already in clearing skies. We get down to Eau Claire, they're the same, and La Crosse is getting out of it with at least mostly clear skies, but we'll get that cloud cover coming back in the morning for Sunday in the AM with rainfall up again well north of I-94, dropping down on Eau Claire as well as Ladysmith. Then it tracks out, but it picks up more rainfall as we get into the 10 o'clock hour for Saturday, and then continues to drive out of the area. Now this is when everything is starting to rotate, and we'll try to see if we can get that backspin coming back, bringing more rainfall into the process here locally. But for now, that's still up in the air. We'll take it into the breezy and gusty winds going in through Sunday, right through the noon hour and then beyond. You'll see that continue on with winds up to 40 miles per hour in some cases, then dropping back. I want to give you that better look for Sunday rainfall. Again, as you can see, this wraparound moisture. There's snow well up to the north in Canada. Some of that tries to get down to the United States, but it stays up to the north. All right, you're looking at highs today, 71 all the way up to about 83 degrees. Over the weekend, we begin to cool you down with 40% chance of rainfall Saturday, 30% chance on Sunday. And again, as you can see, widespread here, temperatures going up and down and then cooling down as the weekend comes through. We'll also see warmer conditions for next week.
It is Foodie Friday, and we're slicing into something special today. We're taking a trip to Flavortown with Pizza Ranch. We are joined this morning by them to learn more. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit, first of all, people who may have not been, what is Pizza Ranch? I know I drive by it all the time, never stopped in. What should we know?
Well, at Pizza Ranch, we're not happy unless you're happy. We offer a lot of different options on our buffet. So we have roasted chicken, variety of pizzas, desserts, and our salad bar. And then we also do a take-two option, so that's a to-go. You can come in and get 2 sides or 2 pieces of chicken and 2 pieces of pizza for $9.
Okay.
So we do that. And then we also have a rewards program that will kind of play in when you come into our store. So we have every $100 that you spend with us, you get $5 back, and that's just a card that you can get when you come in the door. And then we also do a lot of community engagement. So we're also out in doing community impact nights, fundraising for people. We help a lot of nonprofits in the area with food, and am I missing something?
You've got a lot going on, it sounds like, right?
We do.
Yeah, so tell us, how does the buffet your way concept work? When I go out and about, I just all lose concept of reality, so I'm like, I need help. So how does this work?
Absolutely. So the buffet your way concept is something that kind of sets us apart from our competition. So when our guests come in and purchase buffets, with every purchase of a buffet, you are entitled to order buffet your way. And what a buffet your way is you can order a specific kind of pizza with your favorite crust type and your favorite toppings. We'll make it hot and fresh for you. And then when it's ready, we'll call you up for the first slices, and then we'll put the rest of the pizza out on the buffet for everybody else to enjoy.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, I've never seen that before. And then you also have an arcade. I know parents will be happy to hear that. What should we know about that?
Absolutely. So I'm going to be kind of honest. When I started working at Pizza Ranch, I was kind of taken back by it on how big it is.
Oh, wow, okay.
We got over 20 plus games, ranging from all ages, from young kids to adults. We also have our prize wall, our redemption counter. So when our guests are coming in and they're playing games, having fun, they also have the opportunity to win tickets and then redeem those tickets for prizes.
Okay.
We also host parties ranging from kids to adults. We have 5 community private rooms for people to enjoy, family gatherings, all that stuff.
Yeah, all right. You got it all going on, it sounds like.
I know, right? So for folks that don't leave the house very often like I do, so what do you guys have in terms of delivery?
So we do delivery. We have a 3-mile radius, but we do go further upon request.
Okay.
We also have carry out. You can order from us and come and pick it up. And then we also have catering. We do catering from very small events all the way up to 300 plus people. We have a really fun time doing caterings. But yeah, we do have the delivery. We have the delivery drivers, and we're also on third party with DoorDash.
Okay, and if people want to learn more about catering or anything, what website or social media is there a better route to go to contact you guys?
They can definitely email me at lacrosse@pizzaranch.com.
Okay.
Yes, Tristan. And there is also a link on the website that you can put in a request.
Okay, perfect. And then quickly before we go, any job opportunities, job openings? I know that's kind of a struggle in the restaurant industry these days.
Yeah. So we're always hiring. We are currently looking for weekends and evenings. We were Team of the Year this year, so we're not just your run-of-the-mill team. We have a lot of fun. We're a family. We have a lot of successes. We have a lot of triumphs together. So we are absolutely hiring, and that is at careers.pizzaranch.com.
Okay, well, thank you both so much for being here.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Isn't it time you turn your backyard into the oasis you've always wanted? Come to La Crosse Fireplace Company and find your outdoor setup. Imagine gathering with family and friends around your wood-fired pizza oven. Sit back and relax around your new gas fire table, available in different sizes and styles to fit your lifestyle and budget. Stop in this month and receive 15% off outdoor living and free delivery. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
I worked as a truck driver for 36 years.
And then one day I got this letter.
Your retirement will be cut.
Will be cut in half.
You don't forget something like that.
Every paycheck we put money away. But because of Wall Street greed, boom, it was gone. But Tammy Baldwin saw what they were doing and wrote a bill to save our retirement.
Then she fought like hell to pass it.
What Tammy Baldwin did for our families, you don't forget something like that.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Here in Wisconsin, my patients trust me with their personal medical decisions and never ask, what does my congressman think? That doesn't stop Derek Van Orden. Van Orden calls himself 100% pro-life, compared abortion to genocide. And Van Orden said he opposed abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest. Your personal medical decisions belong to you, not him. And Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I work hard and do things the right way. Tammy Baldwin doesn't. She pretends she's standing up for the working people. But the truth is, she's cozying up to Wall Street. Baldwin's girlfriend is a Wall Street executive who helps the rich avoid paying taxes and benefited from the massive bailouts Tammy voted for. Tammy and her girlfriend get richer while we struggle. Tammy Baldwin is a fraud. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Politics these days stinks. Too much hot air, and you know what else. But I'm no stranger to putting in a hard day's work and getting the job done. I have a history of bipartisan accomplishments. It's a hard job, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I can reach across the aisle and pass good bills just as easily as I can walk across the barnyard with my shovel. So whether it's doing chores on the farm or passing bills in Madison, I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm ready to get back to work for you.
Welcome back. It's 6:53. Time for your morning news now. Hurricane Milton headed into the Atlantic Ocean after ripping across Florida. The deadly storm caused widespread destruction and knocked out power to more than 3 million customers. A large outbreak of tornadoes caused several deaths. Rescuers worked feverishly on Thursday to get people away from floodwaters. VP nominee and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is scheduled to return to our region Monday. The upcoming visit will be his 5th to the state since becoming Vice President Harris's running mate. Walz will make 2 stops, one in Eau Claire, the other in Green Bay. He's expected to arrive at Chippewa Valley Airport at 5 p.m. Rebecca Cook's congressional campaign gets a boost from national security experts. The 3rd District candidate met with the National Security Leaders of America to discuss her race against Congressman Derek Van Orden. The bipartisan group of veterans and retired security executives recently endorsed Cook. They aim to counter threats to America's democratic institutions.
I come from a family that has a background really that's rooted in service, but we have so many veterans in our district who I would be representing, and so to have the badge of honor and the endorsement from this group is very humbling. And
response, Van Orden released a statement criticizing Cook's positions and defending his own record of service. A new indoor playground will open tomorrow, just in time for the cooler weather. Wild Child Indoor Playground will welcome kids ages 10 and under starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. The owner says it's a safe, clean space for kids to play and socialize while parents can relax and connect. To make sure you can get in on the grand opening fun tomorrow, you can reserve your playtime online, bring socks, and sign the waiver ahead of time. You can visit wildchildlax.com for all of that. And some more events to tell you about. Soup's on at the Mirage tomorrow from noon to 2 for the 2nd annual Soup Cookout. It's free to enter and free to try some tasty broths. Celebrate the autumn season at the Lafayette Fall Festival. On Sunday, there'll be raffles, a craft fair, a firefighter softball tournament, beer garden, and more. And immerse yourself in a world of imagination at the Sandbar Storytelling Festival. Buckle down for workshops, competitions, and listen to the storytellers. Tonight, there will also be some terrifying ghost stories.
All right, as we go through the day, our temperatures will be widespread in the 70s and the low 80s today. It'll be mild and quiet to warm. So as we go right into your forecast, highs for tomorrow, though, we're looking at, 50s and some 60s, much cooler with a little bit of cloud cover, so partly to mostly cloudy skies, and the shower activity will continue on. It will continue as a wraparound, so some of it may be showing up like I showed you this morning, or it may be changing as well. You'll see conditions to be cooler for the weekend, going into a long weekend, by the way, going into warmer conditions for next week.
All right, well, Halloween came early for 2 hippos at the Philadelphia Zoo. Zookeepers treated the massive animals to pumpkins, tossing them right into their waiting mouths. You see right there, just boom, one. One bite, right? They're waiting for those too. One hippo even responded to the command open, showing off its impressive jaw span. Kind of scary too. The zoo says hippos can weigh up to 9,900 pounds. The pumpkin snack is part of the zoo's promotion for its annual Boo at the Zoo event. Yeah, look at that, just one bite, right? One bite and it's done.
One bite.
Yeah.
With a pumpkin.
Almost 10,000 pounds. That is a big animal.
They're kind of ornery.
Yeah, I'm scared of them. Thank you for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Friday.